right, welcome. It's time for us to talk sport on Global Television. The program Talk Sport, and the King of Sport is ready with all the big stories making the rounds. My name is Anthony Momodu, and I'm so happy to be here to give you all the big stories you needed to know. Truly very sorry for starting behind schedule due to some very technical hitches beyond our control, but we're glad to be back and we're ready to fire at all cylinders with all the big stories making the rounds. And the Nigerian-Libya debacle still not going away anytime soon, as the Libyan Football Federation President Nasser Al-Suway has strongly kicked against the CAF's verdict of $50,000 fine and the forfeiture of the 3 points and 3 goals to Nigeria over the listed 2025 AFCON qualifying Group D fixture scheduled for October 15 in Benin. According to Monday's report on Libyan outlet, Libyan Observer, Suway's described the ruling as unjust and malicious, alleging that the Nigerian Football Federation's influence within CAF played a major role in the outcome. Libyan Football Federation was given 60 days to pay the fine after being found guilty of violating Article 31 of the 2019 African Cup of Nations regulations of the Confederation of African Football, as well as Article 82 and 151 of the Confederation's disciplinary code by first diverting the Benghazi-bound Nigeria's flight to Al Barak International Airport, where the Super Eagles players and crew were held hostage by Libyan authorities for 18 hours without food and water. Our Suez confirmed that the LFF would file an official appeal within hours, calling the sanctions unacceptable and further indicating that if the appeal is denied, the LFF would resort to the Court of Arbitration for Sports to ensure their legitimate rights are secured. All right, that's the first top story we are taking today. Let's move on to other stories. I'll be unveiling my guest after these top stories so that he can do justice in terms of doing analysis of all the big story. Let's take you to the Flying Eagles, where the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Ibrahim Gusau, has expressed his delight at the Flying Eagles' vast improvement at the 2024 WAFU Zone B Under-20 Championship in Lome, Togo, where they will face off against arch rivals Ghana in the final on Wednesday. Reflecting on the team's 3-1 win over Niger Republic in the semi-finals on Sunday, Gusau said he noticed an improvement in their game, having watched them lose 1-0 to Burkina Faso in their opening match, and that he was confident they will retain the title by beating Ghana in the final. The team came from behind to beat Junior Mena, earning a ticket to next year's Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations alongside Ghana, who defeated Ivory Coast 2-1 in the other semi-final match. The neighbors to the north went in front after only 9 minutes of the second semi-final at the Stade Kegu, but just as they did against Cote d'Ivoire on Thursday, the 7-time African champions were unruffled. Instead, they found a better shape and dominated afterwards, scoring 3 marvelous goals that took them to the final. Let's also let you know that Clinton Jefter finished with aplomb from outside the box to put the Flying Eagles on level terms in the 35th minute after an eye-catching interchange of passes among the Baro Obo Arihi and Abba Megari, and not forgetting Nasiru Salihu. Jefter was unsung again 30 minutes after the restart, putting Nigeria ahead for the first time in the match, while Olalekan Alonge later the third in added time. All right, up the Flying Eagles, and we're wishing them the very best as they face the Black Satellites in the finals. All right, let's move on to other stories making the rounds. Let's talk about Ahmed Musa. He's in the news this morning. It's no longer news that the Super Eagles captain is back to the MPFL, but the story tells us that the Super Eagles captain and Kano Pillars forward Ahmed Musa has lambasted Nigerian Premier Football League match officials, describing them as immoral killers following their manhandling of a Sunday's match 9 fixture between Nasarawa United and Kano Pillars at the Lafia City Stadium. The former Leicester City forward specifically criticized the center referee Dahiru Mohammed and Kawo and the assistant referee Abdulmajid Sani Potuskum for allowing a controversial goal where 2 Nasarawa United players, including the scorer, appeared to be in offside positions. Nigeria's all-time FIFA World Cup top scorer, who recently returned to his boyhood club Kano Pillars alongside Shehu Abdullahi, warned that poor officiating could discourage other Super Eagles players from considering finishing their careers in the Nigerian Elite Division. Musa, who chose the MPFL over foreign offers, expressed his desire to help elevate the league to European standard, but insisted that the current level of officiating doesn't reflect a serious league and European standard, but says that with officiating like that, he thinks Nigerian league would not go any further. All right, still giving big stories and making the rounds. Let's let you know that Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen continued his impressive scoring run in the Turkish Super League, netting his 4th goal of the season as Galatasaray secured a hard-fought 2-1 win over city rivals Besiktas in Istanbul on Monday. The 25-year-old, who joined Galatasaray on loan from Napoli in the summer, headed home Gabriel Aceras perfect cross in the 67th minute to double the host lead before Besiktas pulled one back in the stoppage time. The Nigerian international has now scored in 3 straight league games following his spectacular overhead kick against Antalyaspor last weekend on his return from injury. The victory saw Gala consolidate their position at the top of the Turkish Super League standings with 28 points from 10 matches, opening a 6-point gap ahead of second-placed Samsunspor, while Besiktas remain 4th with 20 points. Okan Buruk's side have maintained an impressive run of form, winning 8 and drawing 2 of their last 10 matches across all competitions, scoring 32 goals and conceding 12. Osimhen, who had registered 3 goals and 4 assists in just 5 appearances before Monday's game, has justified his high-profile loan move to the Turkish giant, with Chelsea reportedly monitoring his progress ahead of a potential move in 2025. Meanwhile, the former league forward's consistent performances for Galatasaray have drawn praise from several former Chelsea players, including John Mikel Obi and Didier Drogba, who believe he would be an ideal signing for the Premier League club. All right, to give you big stories concerning Nigerian players, let's let you know that Nottingham Forest are stepping up contract negotiations with Super Eagles defender Ola Aina amid intensifying interest from Serie A giant AS Roma and AC Milan. The versatile right back, whose current deal with the Forest expires at the end of the season, has been instrumental in their impressive Premier League campaign, helping the club to the 8th position with 13 points from 8 games. According to the Italian outlet AS Roma Live, both Roma and Milan are monitoring the 28-year-old situation with the possibility of signing him on a pre-contract agreement in January. The former Chelsea youth player, who joined Forest from Torino in 2023, has made 30 league appearances for the Tricky Trees, establishing himself as a key player in Espirito Santos' defense. Forest had indicated last month their desire to secure the Nigerian international on a long-term deal, recognizing his contribution to their strong defensive record this season, which includes a position of goal difference. The defender's versatility, being able to operate on both flanks, has made him an attractive proposition for the Italian club, who could potentially secure his services for a nominal fee in January or as a free agent in the summer. All right, one more sad story there concerning one ex-international. We're talking about the fact that the remains of late Nigerian goalkeeper Peter Apofegene will be laid to rest on Friday, November 29th in his hometown of Abraka, Delta State, according to burial plans announced by the deceased family via the ex-Nigerian captain Segun Odegbami on Monday. The funeral rite kicks start on November 27 with the service of songs in Sapele, Delta State, followed by lying in state at the Sapele Township Stadium, to be followed by a football match to be organized by members of the All Stars International Football Club before the body will be conveyed to Abraka for interment on the same day. The exercise will be rounded off with reception in Sapele on Saturday, November 30th. The family of the flying cat who passed on to meet his creator after 77 years on earth thanks all Nigerians for their support and expression of condolences. The good news is that the preparations for his funeral rites have started and have now been the low-key, simple, dignified, and not a burden to the family. A few good Nigerians have responded and are rendering invaluable but silent support to ease the pressure on the family and ensure that the football hero and Olympian gets a befitting burial. These philanthropists, Nigerians that want their identities kept from the media for now, have settled all the hospitalization fees and other expenses to date. His remains have also been moved back to Sapele, where he lived before he passed on. The final funeral rites decided by the family saw the first Koromaju held at his residence in Sapele last week. Meanwhile, the Delta State Football Association, the Delta State government, any of the football clubs that he played for during his career, the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, and the National Sports Commission, NSC, the Nigerian Olympians Association, NOA, and the Nigerian Olympic Committee, NOC, All Stars International Football Club, and any other members and others, including family members, fans, and individuals, are now notified of his funeral. The flying cat goes home. Very sad commentary there. But just to wrap it up, give you some story concerning the Super Falcons. Let's let you know that the Super Falcons will host Algeria's Green Ladies in the second leg of the international friendly today at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Lagos, with the kickoff now scheduled for 2 p.m. instead of the earlier advertised 4 p.m. Captain Rasheedat Ajibadi's first half brace secured a 2-0 victory for the 9-time African champions in Saturday's first leg at the Remo Stars training complex in Ikene. The Spain-based attacking midfielder opened the scoring in the 24th minute, capitalizing on the defenders Oluwatosin's diminished pass to lob the ball over the Algerian goalkeeper. All right, that's much of the news we'll give you for now, and I've got my guest in the live studio. He's not a person but Gabriel Obi. I call him Gabriel Batistuta. If you remember Gabriel Batistuta of Argentina, one of Argentina's finest number 9 strikers of all time. Obi, thank you for making it to the studios.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, first of all, just want to say thank God for your safe surgery, which went from 1 hour to 6 hours. And oh boy, that was really scary.
Thank God for life. He gave you a second chance.
All right, second chance, and I know you're going to take it as a top striker. Let's look at some of the big stories we looked at, beginning from the CAF issue. Now we see Libya is saying they're going to appeal this. They are going to go to court for arbitration for sports. They feel it was injustice, CAF's verdict, and they felt it was the influence of Nigeria on CAF. That's why Nigeria got the ruling. Does this imply that they do not still appreciate or recognize the dangers they put the lives of our national team and all they've done? Does it mean they don't see what they've done as being wrong?
You know, the North Africans are known for this kind of gamesmanship. It's not sportsmanship. You know, they are known for this kind of tricky ways of winning football or winning their matches. But I'm glad at the position of CAF. You know, the articles that were stated in Article 151 and all that was stated in the CAF's report showed clearly that they were at breach. You know, you can't take a country to another airport that is still out away from where they were meant to land. I mean, I want to salute CAF's position and the fact that CAF stood its grounds and the disciplinary committee has made this case final. And the disciplinary committee said clearly that you cannot appeal this ruling because it was a committee. And so if you want to go to arbitration of sports, where they can go, but CAF has taken this position and has fined them, giving them 6 days to pay this fine. So whatever they want to do, the competition is progressing. They can't take us back. We have moved forward. And I want to salute CAF for this courageous and bold step they have taken to send a signal to other African countries. The African countries are always playing games, you know, before the matches. To tell the signal that you have to be careful. Games are won on the pitch, not outside the pitch.
All right, for you, looking at the decision of Libya, do you think they might decide to pull out of CAF, or do you think CAF might decide to also even fine them even more if they seem to want to go overboard?
Well, the CAF regulation is stated clearly. If they want to go overboard, they will follow the big stick of CAF. I mean, in fact, some people have not queried why CAF will allow them to participate because they're a war-torn country. The country has been unsettled for some few years now, and so safety and security of lives in Libya is not guaranteed. Usually, what CAF would have done would have been let them choose another country, like I said the last time, Morocco, for their home games. That would have been the best decision for CAF. So, if they press further with these petitions, CAF would just simply give a strong ruling. All home games move to Morocco. For me, that would be the best decision. The next step CAF should take. All your home games are moved after Libya. Choose another country. Either you go to Morocco, you go to Algeria, go to Tunisia, or Egypt. Choose any of the 4 countries, and that's where your home games will be. Because the safety of players is very important.
All right, let's move on to one of the other big stories we shared. Had to do with NFF President Ibrahim Gusau saying he's impressed with the Flying Eagles at the WAFU B tournament. Now they've qualified for the finals against Ghana. What's your expectation? They lost to Burkina Faso, and one would expect that Burkina Faso should be a team to beat Nigeria. But as defending champions, they lost against Burkina Faso. Now they are back and they get to the finals. Are you confident? Ghana, Accra, a very strong team at this youth category. Would this be the real test for the Flying Eagles?
I think, one of the good things about our country football is that we grew into the tournament. We start a little bit slow, but progress, as we proceed. We are a tournament kind of country. So it wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised that they lost the first match to Cote d'Ivoire.
Burkina Faso.
So, but you can see that they have made progress, just like Ibrahim also said. They have made steady progression in their play, and so I am confident that in the final match against Ghana, they will defeat Ghana and take the cup because they have grown in confidence. They have studied their tactics. They understand themselves properly because they've stayed together for more time now. The tournament has been ongoing for a while now. So I want to let them know that the country is behind them. Go for the cup and come back victorious.
All right, let's talk about the Super Falcons. What's the expectations today? They'll be facing Algeria in the second leg. And do you think the Algerian team is the best team we have gotten, even though it's described as grade A friendly?
Well, it's better than nothing. I'm glad that the Super Falcons is playing friendly games to put their team in shape. Without issues of coaching and all that. So it's a good thing. Algeria is not they're not minnows in female football in Africa, and a lot of them have played Morocco because Morocco has a very good team, female football team. Yeah. But then let's thank God for what we have. I believe after this second leg, we cannot have another one before the CAF competition we went next year in Morocco. So it's a good step in the right direction. At least the coach can now assess the players and know what player he needs and know what gaps he needs to fill before the AFCON next year. So I wish the NFF can organize one more friendly, perhaps with Morocco or South Africa. But those are our
main rivals.
Main rivals right now. South Africa has grown in confidence. Their footballers, the female footballers, really grown tremendously in the last few years. I mean, they are no more pushover. So if we can have a friendly with South Africa or with Morocco to test our preparedness, it will be good for our club, good for our country's football, so that they can know the gaps and know what players to invite and know what if they need more local players to add to solidify their team. The coach should push for that, and I believe next year we'll come back with our 10th trophy.
So, are you worried that it seems to be Rasheedat the scoring goals, the burden seems to be on her? Are you worried that we're not having new players step up to lead the team, especially now that we're rebuilding?
I want to, because we've had a tournament. Last time I came here, I spoke about the Bessie Obaseki's tournament. I believe that the technical committee in NFF should have been present to scout for new replacements for that tournament to have passed, and we had some goal scorers. So it's a matter of integrating the new hands into the team. We are used to having Rashid Ajibade, Lizard Oshola, and those names. These ladies are aging. So it is important that we start integrating. In fact, my suggestion would be have 11 players from the home base and 11 players from the foreign base and make 22. So each of the wings, you have a player that is understudying the main player, so that when there are injury issues, they come into play. Because see, the players have to grow in confidence and exposure over time to be able to fit into the shoes of our aging players. So I want to encourage the new coach to please try and integrate the new players from the home base, gently, to ensure that the old players can understand. Well, I understand right now, the burden is on her. But I believe that if the top scorer of the female Premier League in Nigeria is integrated and other players that were discovered during the last tournament, it will boost our squad. We do not lack talent in this country. It's not that we don't have we don't have the political will to make sure we integrate them as it is. We have a lot of issues that affect at the back room, but for the good of our players, let the new players be integrated, mostly the home-based players. And we also have international stars who are playing abroad, whom we've not even discovered, who can also bolster the team from US, from Canada. So let us open the camp and get the best.
All right, in case you're just joining us, it's Talk Sports on Global Television. We'll go for a very quick break. When we return from the break, we'll still be discussing about the claims by Ahmed Musa as he takes a knock on the Nigerian Professional Football League as regards the poor officiating weakness when Nasarawa United played Kano Pillars. We look at that story and other stories that concerning the sack of Erik ten Hag as a Manchester United coach. Who becomes the next coach is a big talking point. We'll also be taking into the Ballon d'Or. Last night it was Rodri of Manchester City and Spain who won it as against the player called Vinicius Junior, who every sporting pundit and fan tipped to win it. What played out all those big stories after this break. Stay with us. All right, welcome back from the break. It's Still Talk Sport, and it's time for us to look at other issues. Let's begin from the home front. We've got Ahmed Musa saying the MPFL in terms of officiating. It seems to never go away in terms of the issue of poor officiating in Nigerian Premier League. Just a week ago, we saw CAF release 52 names of match officials for the tournaments coming up, and there was no Nigeria. Now, Ahmed Musa is still complaining about poor officiating. What do you think is responsible for this continuous poor officiating we can see in the Nigerian Professional Football League?
I think it's a big shame for our Nigerian football, our referees, because this has been a recurring challenge for a while now. You know, I want to thank the MPFL board led by Gbenga Elebeleye for what they did the last season, where some referees were cautioned. I mean, and also they also brought in incentives to referees to ensure that most clubs don't influence referees that travel away. You know, so but they should keep up the tempo. Our referees have not done well lately. I mean, for the past 10 years or more, we don't have referees from Nigeria, you know, managing games in Africa. Not to talk about the world. And it's a big shame. Countries like Benin or small countries that don't have the kind of league we have referees, because our referees federation to do more. It's an internal cleansing that has to take place, because the compromise, the shoddy officiating has persisted over the years, and I think it's time the NFF look within and begin to, you know, wield the big stick, because it's not telling well for our country's reputation outside here. How come Nigeria, a footballing nation, one of the best footballing country in the world, do not have referees to officiate even AFCON? Don't talk about under 17, and we're not ashamed. It's a bad commentary. So please, the Nigerian Referee Federation should sit up, and the Nigerian Professional Premier League executive members should also please take a closer look and look inwards and ensure that any referees are sanctioned. Some should be dropped, some should be suspended, and they should open more floodgates for young persons to come into referee space, because I see that our referees are aging. We need used to be referees. In England, they are referees who are 35 years old, 32, 40. So why can't we do it here? Why can't youth be encouraged to go to referee? We have a lot of pundits here and there, so they can be encouraged. I mean, it should be a clear call. We want to train referees in Nigeria. Youth who are, we have a lot of analysts who can analyze the game. So why don't you go and be a referee? I mean, we have so many analysts in Nigeria. They should go into refereeing. Youth should be encouraged from secondary school to start, you know, learning good coaching classes for refereeing, because we need to have the old brigade has to leave. We need a new set of referees, and we have a lot of youths who are very passionate about football, who watch the English Premier League every weekend, and they can tell you where the call is wrong, the call is right. Why can't we encourage them to go to football, into refereeing? I mean, from age 10, 15, 20, they can start training them. By the time they are 25, they can referee a match. So let's do that urgently.
All right, let's move to the next talking point. We're looking at Turkish Super League. Osimhen scores again as Gala edge Besiktas is a big talking point. It looks like Osimhen can't stop scoring for Gala, but lots of people say Gala is not what we expect him to be. We expect him to be in Chelsea or other big teams. But how important is it that he is still scoring the goals for Galatasaray, so that if January transfer window opens, there's a reason for his stock to go high?
Yes, I'm really excited and I'm proud of him. I want to encourage him to keep up the good work, because I mean he's doing us proud. You know, you saw what happened with Napoli, how his career almost went down slope. But I'm glad that he has bounced back. You know, it's the resilience of every Nigerian. Nigerians are very resilient people. You know, Gala is a small, the Turkish league is a small league, but he has got to prove himself. You know, form or talent is constant. Form could be temporary. So he has proven himself again that he is a talent that cannot be ignored. And I'm glad that the Chelsea club and some other clubs in the Premier League are looking towards bringing him in January, because Napoli has reduced his wages and all that transfer fees. So most likely in January he will move into England. He's a star. So I'm glad that at least they know what they are going for. He's not a one-season wonder. So he's a man that has proven himself consistently that he's on the rise. And with a good enabling club like Arsenal or Chelsea, I believe he will do well. I prefer he goes to Arsenal, because Arsenal needs a striker. Because Chelsea has a lot of crowded play we have Palmer, we have Jackson, there's Nkunku, there's a lot of going to be strength for him to be able to,
Bring the team.
Bring the team. But in Arsenal, he has the free flow. In Arsenal, there's no striker. Gabriel Jesus is leaving. So he takes Gabriel Jesus' position and Havertz will come back to the midfield. So in Arsenal, he'll be top 9 from beginning. I just hope Arteta will take this step early enough and bring the team to go. There's a need for a top striker in Arsenal.
All right, moving on to the next talking point. We're still looking at transfer matters concerning Nigerian players, and we're looking at transfer talks. Forest advanced Ainol's talks amid the transfer interest. That's where we're heading to. Let's look at Nottingham Forest willing in conversations with AS Roma and AC Milan for Ola Aina to move.
Yeah.
We know he came from
Chelsea Academy.
Chelsea went to England for Torino, back to England. Now he's going back to Italy. This back and forth, does he go well for his career? Though he's been consistent with the national team.
Yeah, if I will give an advice, I will appreciate his stays at Forest, because what Espirito Santos is doing in Forest is amazing. This coach is bringing out the best. Forest last year barely stayed back in the Premier League. On the last day they were going to their position was known on the last day, but you can see Forest is progressing, and the coach is a versatile coach. And see, I know plays on both the right wing and the left wing, so he's a versatile player. So he's a utility player. I would prefer he stays in the Premier League, where all attention will be on him, where he can make good money. He can leave when he's 30. He's just 28. So I would appreciate if he can stay for 2 more years in Forest and then move to AC Milan. There he can now go and express himself more. But England is a place to be. You can't be leaving England to Torino. And the coach says he has so much confidence in him. He's a first-team player. So why leave when you are a first-team player to start breaking into another club? So I would advise him stay in Forest, because Forest is going to be among the top 10 clubs in England. The way they are progressing, right now they are number 7 or 8 of the league. And they're doing well. And the coach is a beautiful coach. He's an intelligent coach. He will help his career. So Ola, stay put. At least 2 more years. All
right, let's move from Ola Aina and let's go to an ex-international who we used to call the flying cart. His name, Peter Frege. Frege finally passed on, and he will be buried on 29th of November. Would you say you were impressed with the support he had before he passed on? And how much would you say our ex-internationals are being valued?
I think we need to bring it to a system. Like in England, all ex-international are on a set of on pensions, pension for service. Just like, I heard some of our Nigerian players that played in England. They say end pensions till date. That's what our Nigerian Football Federation should try to do with the Players Union. If pension or a set of some level of money is kept aside for ex-international, it will help to keep them through their retirement days. I mean, until Emo and Shegun Odebami brought this case to the fore, people have forgotten about him. I mean, he was suffering, was in the hospital until Shegun Odebami brought his case to the fore, and even with this last-minute brigade, we want to support. And I'm glad that they provided support for him, but he couldn't make it through. At 77, may so rest in peace. And I'm glad that some persons have, paid his hospital bills, providing some support for the family, for the burial. But going forward, we have, in football, you retire very early. Sometimes before 40, you're retired. So you have a whole years ahead of you. What do you do with your life? So I think something also that has to be taught to our footballers, that you need to plan for after active football days. What do you do when you leave active football play? You need to have a business to fall back to. You need to have what to sustain you and for your family for the rest of your life. So the old Flying Eagles, the old Green Eagles, their time was not as this time. So, but for the current players who are on ground, they must be taught financial management principles, how to maintain their resources and make it grow for them to cater for their needs at retirement. And also the NFF should put a system in place in England where people like John Fashion don't say end pension till tomorrow in England because they play for the national team. It can be done in Nigeria.
All right, well said. Let's look at Ballon d'Or as Ademola Lookman secured the 14th position in the 2024 Ballon d'Or rankings at Monday's glamorous ceremony at the theatre the Chalet in Paris as Manchester City midfielder Rodri Hernandez claimed the prestigious prize. The Atlanta striker, who was the only African nominee among the 30-man shortlist released by France Football on October 26, and recognition following his historic hat-trick that secured his club's first ever Europa League trophy. The 27-year-old impressive season saw him score 11 goals and 31 Serie A games, assists, and provided 7 assists in 31 Serie A games, while also scoring 3 goals to help Nigeria reach the 2023 African Cup of Nations final. The final ranking saw Rodri claim the top spot, followed by Kylian Mbappe, who is 6th, and Lautaro Martinez, who came 7th. We've got Lamine Yamal came 8th, and Toni Kroos came 9th, and Harry Kane completing the top 10. Phil Foden finished 11th, while Florian Wirtz and Dani Olmo placed 12 and 13 respectively, behind Lookman in 14th, where Nico Williams came 15th, Granit Xhaka came 16th, Federico Valverde came out 17th, and we've got Emiliano Martinez 18th, and Martin Odegaard 19th, and Hakan Çalhanoğlu 20th. The remaining positions were filled by Bukayo Saka 21st, Antonio Rudiger 22nd, Ruben Dias 23rd, and William Saliba 24th, and Cole Palmer 25th, and Declan Rice 26th, Vitinha 27th, and Alejandro Garnacho 28th, and Matt Hummels and Artem Dubik shared the 29th position. All right, let's look at the roll call. Are you surprised it went to Rodri rather than Vinicius Junior, which everybody expected to win?
Well, we all know that Vinicius Junior was the winner of this Ballon d'Or, but because he was not present, and so that's why it was handed over to Rodri. If Vinicius Junior was present at the Le Chateau, where it happened in France, he would have been given, because before now, the Real Madrid club had issued a statement saying that they were not respected by the organizers. I don't know why. The coach for Real Madrid won the best coach of the tournament, or the best coach of the year. So why we're not there? We're not there. Maybe there's some little behind the scene event that we don't know. But if Vinicius Junior was allowed to attend the program and his coach was there, he would have been given the trophy. But what I have seen, the culture of this award is that they don't give the trophy to a person who is not on ground. They only want to look at the recipient is life and eventually he can be given the cup. They don't like giving it to somebody who is not available. So I think that would be one of the reasons why Rodri was resorted to. But Vinicius Junior won everything. If I remember yesterday, in the midst of the event, people were shouting Vinny Junior in the hall, so that he was the toast, and he had the support of most persons who voted for that Ballon d'Or. But as it goes, we wait for next year.
This puts the award in disrepute. Will it make it lose its value? For that, people will begin to see it as not a genuine award.
The organizers have to step up their PR, because if people have expressing concerns about such things, like having issues with the club, like the club will not complain that you don't have respect for us, the newspaper, they have to sit up and clear these grey areas, else it will lose its relevance. The other awards, this FIFA award and all that. So if Ballon d'Or does not sit up and make sure they clear all these encumbrances, they may lose their prestige after a while, because people don't want to attend anymore.
All right, let's take you to Old Trafford, where Manchester United were in talks on Monday night to appoint Sporting Lisbon's Ruben Amorim as their new manager after sacking Erik ten Hag. Bill Sport revealed that last week the Amorim was one of the 4 targets if ten Hag was asked, and United announced on Monday morning that the Dutchman's 2.5-year reign at Old Trafford was over. Did you see this coming?
Well, everybody saw it coming. A lot of Manchester United fans saw it coming. I just felt that Erik ten Hag the players didn't play for him at this material time. He's a good coach. He's an intelligent coach. I saw a tweet some years ago that he said he's a fantastic coach. But sometimes, in the English Premier League, it's highly competitive. So there are ups and downs. There are times your club will play well, but you see, Manchester United also need to be patient. But I don't think they have that patience in their DNA. They want to win, and so they have asked Erik ten Hag to leave. But then the guy coming in, Amorim, it's going to be a different ballgame for him. He hasn't coached the Premier League before, even though he's Spanish CP. The Premier League and sport and that of Portuguese league are different. In the Premier League, a low-ranking team can embarrass you in less than 3 minutes before the end of the match. So it's going to be some time for him to learn and be able to balance up. I would have appreciated if everything was given till December. Perhaps he may have turned the footage around, or perhaps it might be time for him to be able to make an adjustment. But then the managers and the club owners know what they're doing. So if Amorim is chosen, good luck to him. But he has a lot to do for the Manchester team.
All right, that's how we're going to call it a wrap on today's edition of the program Talk Sport. I want to say thank you to Gabriel Batistuta, as Gabriel Obi. But thank you, Gabriel, thank you for making it to the live studios.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, that's how we call it a wrap. My name is Anthony Momoni saying thank you for being part of Talk Sport today. Hopefully tomorrow is going to be bigger and better as we bring out other big stories making the rounds across the world of sport. Good morning.